Greetings, friends. My name is Cory Stine, and I'm one of the creative editors here at Jetpack Joust. And the reason we decided to create a video today is because we have some very special announcements to make. But before we look ahead to the future, let's take a look at the past. Jetpack Joust started with a simple mission. We were friends who were passionate about three things: indie games, board games, and role-playing games. But whenever we searched the internet for insightful commentary on these things, we were never really happy with what we found. So we decided to come up with something on our own. That became Jetpack Joust. And just about 3 years ago, we started our small but mighty media empire with jetpackjoust.com, a blog where you could find reviews, commentary, and insights on all things gaming. Then, of course, we expanded into video and started our YouTube channel, which became very successful, if not in terms of views, then in terms of an expectation of quality. People would come to us expecting solid information and a unique perspective. Whether it was the 100+ written reviews on our website or shows like Hit the Table, Playthrough History, and Can I Kick It, we slowly began to grow a fan base. Then, as it does, life got in the way. I got a new job and had to move all the way from sunny Baltimore, Maryland to the deathly tundra of Northern Virginia. It wasn't that far, but it was far enough that I wasn't seeing my colleagues and collaborators all that often, and it became more and more difficult to produce regular content on Jetpack Joust. So for several months, our website and our YouTube channel languished. We stopped producing content. But somehow, magically, we continued to grow an audience. We've actually doubled in size in terms of subscribers and in terms of viewers since we were regularly producing content. That is pretty amazing. And I found this out about halfway through July. This started a new crusade. I wanted to get Jetpack Joust back up and running, but I knew that I couldn't do it producing the same volume of content I had been before. I had been producing upwards of 5 reviews or news articles every week for jetpackjoust.com, plus creating the vast majority of our video content. It was starting to burn me out, and I work in tech, so I look at a computer all day long, and sometimes I get home and just don't want to do that anymore. So I started scratching my head, thinking about what I could do to bring Jetpack Joust back, but to make it a little bit less of a workload on myself and make it more fun again. The idea was simple. We start a podcast network. And we don't just talk about games, we talk about everything pop culture. This is right around the time that a lot of attention was starting to grow on Star Wars because of the imminent release of The Force Awakens. And I had been sort of juggling around the idea of doing a Walt Disney World podcast for roughly 2 or 3 years. I really like the history of those theme parks. So out of this brainstorming session came the 2 podcasts that many of the new Jetpack Joust viewers are probably more familiar with. This is Starbird Radio, our Star Wars podcast, and Horizons, our Walt Disney World podcast. And they immediately were pretty successful. They grew a really small but very dedicated audience. Later in the fall, we introduced a 3rd show to our network, produced by my sister. It's called Character Traits, and it analyzes the characters of various pop culture franchises that we all know and love. But something just didn't feel right. We weren't talking about games anymore. And I kept getting emails and tweets from older fans saying, "When are you going to start making YouTube videos again? When are you going to talk about board games? When are you going to talk about these great indie games that I discovered through your site?" And we wanted to respond to those fans right now. First off, I want to apologize, particularly to all of those fans who we let down by not producing content for the entirety of 2015. We had become very reliable, and that helped our reputation. We're not so reliable anymore, but we hope to improve that. We are going to do that by introducing a flood of new content over the course of the next 6 months or so. And I'm not ready to announce all of the ideas that we have spinning around in our heads, but I do want to talk about 2 in particular. One of the spaces we've always wanted to get into was video game streaming, and it's something that we have dabbled in and experimented with in the past, but but we've never really put our full energy behind. Well, those days are in the past. My co-conspirator, my partner in crime, the guy who has done so much behind the scenes here at Jetpack Joust, a lot of the marketing, a lot of the design choices, and he's always been good to bounce ideas off of. I'm talking about Bear Jones, and he is going to be producing a brand new stream and YouTube series called Minecraft Mondays. This won't be like any other Minecraft show that you've seen. The game is easy enough to play that really it's actually going to be more of a podcast environment. Bear is going to host friends and guests, and he's going to talk to them about video game news, about pop culture, and they're going to have a great time. If you know anything about Bear, you know that he is hilarious, so you can expect Minecraft Mondays to be truly entertaining. If you're interested in checking out the show, he will start uploading them to our YouTube channel next week, but he's also going to be streaming on and off throughout the week, so make sure to check him out over on Twitch. His handle is Bear Fiesta, and he'll also stream through the Jetpack Joust feed, so you can find him at either one of those locations. Minecraft Mondays is our way of dipping our toes back into video games, and it's going to have the same level of in-depth commentary that you've come to expect from Jetpack Joust in the past, but it's also going to have a few more one-liners, and there's going to be a lot of use of the word but. The next announcement revolves around a series that has a storied past. It's one that we've had more emails, more tweets, more excitement around than any other. So many people have come to us and asked us to resurrect Hit the Table. And I am proud to announce that by the end of February, I will have produced the first new episode of Hit the Table in more than a year. One of the things that we've always prided ourselves on is our ability to talk to people on every level. If you're an experienced gamer, we want to be able to talk on your level. But we also want to be welcoming to new people, to be able to grow the hobby even larger than it is now. There is so many exciting things going on within the space of board games, role-playing games, and card games. And we are going to continue to celebrate it with more episodes of Hit the Table. Beyond that, we're not quite ready to tell you what our plans are. There's a lot of things that could happen and could unfold over the course of the next 6 months. We're really looking a lot at sort of the metrics, the amount of people that were watching and engaging with some of our older series, but we're also playing around with some experiments and trying out some new content, some stuff you guys have never seen before. And we're really interested in finding that right mix between the old and the new. Unfortunately, this focus on video and audio media does mean that we are more or less going to throw our blog out the window. However, you may have noticed if you've been to the site in the last few weeks that I have started to upload a lot of the archival reviews and a lot of that content that was originally part of the blog. So you'll still be able to get all of that stuff. It'll still be available to you. I plan on uploading a few articles every weekend until I've gotten the whole archive up and on board. But there will not be many new blogs. We're really going to focus on YouTube and on our podcasts. But if you've been a fan for a while and there's something that you liked in particular, maybe you really liked our crowdfunding show, Can I Kick It? Maybe you wanted us to do more of playthrough history, where my sister examined a lot of classic video games in order of their release. Maybe you want some more video reviews or Let's Plays. We're happy to do any of that, and happy to engage in any of your ideas, but we want to hear from you before we do it. We don't want to waste our time. We want to make the type of stuff that you're interested in watching. So please, let us know. Shoot us a tweet at Jetpack Joust, or just email us, jetpackjoust@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you and take all of your comments and feedback into consideration. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for all the support that you've given us over the years, both the years that we were active and over this year that we've been inactive. It's really incredible to see the type of growth that we've had while we were completely radio silent. Yet somehow you've managed to draw us back out to inspire us to continue forward, and we cannot thank you enough for that. It's helped me to really reclaim my friendships with these guys, and it's also helped us to really engage our creative engines once more. So we've got a lot of great stuff planned for you. Expect more announcements in the months to come, more podcasts, more shows on the YouTube channel. It's all coming. But for now, make sure you check out our podcasts every other Friday. We have Starbird Radio and Horizons, a Walt Disney World podcast. Character Traits is produced really sporadically whenever Val is able to get together with her friends. She's in college. But she will be producing some new episodes very soon, so that is something to look forward to. I know that Character Traits has a pretty huge following. In terms of our YouTube channel, keep your eyes open next Monday for the first episode of Minecraft Mondays with Bear. Again, you can watch his streams on Bear Fiesta or on our Jetpack Joust feed over at twitch.tv. You can also look forward to the newest episode of Hit the Table by the end of this month. As soon as I have a hard and fast date, I'll make sure to let you guys know on Twitter. But until next time, thanks again for everything, and I haven't done this in a while, but Bill Murray.